Hey guys, in this video I'm going to talk about my modifications this year for 2022 to my Jeep I call Sarge. As you might can tell, I love driving my old Jeep. Whether in the back roads near my home, in last winter's snow apocalypse, Tennessee Trail Jam in Hurricane Mills, Tennessee, or Holly Mo Party, to name a few, I drive him. I wheel him. He's not just a mall crawler, but I use him for what he was intended to be, an off-roader. In my previous modification video for Sarge, we discussed his setup. Sarge is a 1978 CJ5 Basic, narrow track with a rock-solid 258 inline 6-cylinder, 4.2 liter for those in Europe, with a Carter one-barrel carburetor, rear AMC 20, and a front Dana 30 axle. I purchased Sarge in May of 2021, as he really was an untouched Jeep for the most part, but as previously stated, I made major updates to the body and drivetrain. So here are the modifications I made for Sarge over 2022. All the parts or equipment on this update are in the description. Like a lot of Jeeps, previous owners do make modifications. One was removing the original air cleaner and replacing it with one of those tiny chrome air cleaners. I hate those things, especially since I don't believe they allow enough air for the engine to breathe. So I decided that I would find an OEM air cleaner. That was fairly easy to find on eBay, but the original bolt that allows you to connect it to the Carter one-barrel carburetor was almost non-existent. Literally, it'd be easier to find a needle in a haystack while parachuting from a space station while wearing asbestos underwear. After researching and asking numerous folks at Jeep meets, I finally found another option. There's a company named IH Parts of America, so read International Harvester, that makes a part that will fit the Carter one barrel, since it also was used by Ford during the same time frame, which is really how I found it. I ordered it and installed my OEM air cleaner. I was really happy and quite proud how it looked. When you're in a Jeep without doors, sometimes folks that ride with you feel better with doors. I found this to be true with my Wrangler as well. I decided to purchase Bestop soft lower half doors for Sarge and install them. Now I think it looks great, but with the CJ5 the half doors give you a back scratcher just for your personal use if you don't get in correctly. Otherwise, I love them, and the wife does feel safer with a thin veil of vinyl as a door. I had several additional electrical items that I had installed, including an electrical fan for the radiator, and had 3 physical switches in the dash. The wiring was fused, but going directly to the battery. Didn't really like that. So I want to resolve that and clean up the wiring mess around the battery, so I ordered and installed a Nicking 8-gang switch panel. Hope I pronounced that right. This has a 60 amp breaker that goes directly to the battery and further protects the electronics and, most importantly, the battery. The instructions were terrible, I'll add, though if you order the switch, the 2-prong connector will go to the power source. I use my fuse block under the dash in order to control it with a key. Otherwise, it's an easy installation. If you watched the previous videos, I love Raptorliner paint. It's durable and really easy to install with the proper paint prep for the body. I decided to wire wheel and sand the wheel wells down to use black Raptorliner to paint the wheel wells. That was a messy job, trust me, but the prep was done and I showered with black Raptorliner. It turned out great and will help further protect the wheel wells. And last but certainly not least, I wanted better traction on trails than the open differentials had, but finding a rear locker for an AMC 20 is difficult if you want an e-locker. There are cable options, but after looking at the cost and asking myself, do I really need lockers, I decided to get Eaton TrueTracs, which are limited slip for the front and the rear. Why? Well, cost for one, as the cost of a single locker for just the rear was almost the same as both TrueTracs, and I could have had both axles improved. Second, with the design of the Eaton TrueTrac, unless a wheel comes off the ground, it's comparable to a locker. While I have the diff covers off, I also Raptorlined them with olive green to match the actual exterior of Sarge, which I think actually looks pretty cool too. Adds the whole feng shui of the axles. So I had the Eaton TrueTrac limited slip installed in the front Dana 30 and the rear AMC 20. For those interested on the specs of the drivetrain, it has a rear AMC 20 29 spline, 3.54 gear ratio, the front Dana 30, which is a 27 spline, 3.5 gear ratio, narrow track. It also has a Yukon one-piece axle conversion kit, a Dana 20 transfer case, and a Borg Warner T150 transmission. I've been asked, with all the money you have in Sarge, do you ever think you'll get that back? My answer is always the same. I don't care. If you have a question, drop me a line and I'll answer it if I can. Thank you, and don't forget to like and subscribe.